here 4 pieces of prepackaged chicken. These 2 flavors are honey Dijon mustard, and these ones are these 2 are lemon pepper. These are really great for large families. You can take like a couple of these like I have, and you can cut them up or cook them individually if you want to, but these are really good idea. Good investment. So since I have frozen meat here, I'm defrosting it in some cool water. Now, this will take about 15 minutes and it should be all defrosted by then, and it'll be good and ready to cut up. In the meantime, while I'm waiting for my meat to defrost, I'm going to look for other things in my cupboards to see what I can make with it. I've got some cans of tomato sauce, can of green chili sauce, tomato paste, cream and mushroom. I've got couscous, some macaroni and cheese, some matzo ball soup. I've got noodles. I think I've got my first idea. Here we go. I'm gonna go with the egg noodles. Egg noodles are really good for side dishes all the time. They're really good with some butter, a little bit of salt and pepper, or maybe some garlic salt and pepper, or any kind of seasoning you might like. Have these on hand. They're pretty cheap, they're easy to make a side dish pretty simple. Now I've got a large pot of water here that I'm going to use for the noodles, and I'm going to put a little bit of salt inside of it. I add the salt for a little bit of flavor, so be careful with how you pour it. You don't want to pour too much. Just a sprinkle of salt. You should flavor the noodles a little bit while they're cooking. So while I'm waiting for the water to boil, I'm going to be using in this pan to boil down some butter, and I'm going to cut up the chicken and cook it in this pan at a high heat. Okay, I got my butter and I'm melting it in a pan right now. Once it's melted down, I'm going to add the chicken. Okay, I cut up my chicken already and I've added it to the pan. Just going to let this cook up a little bit. I'm going to let my chicken cook for a minute. I'm going to check on my water now, see how that's coming along. It's coming to a nice boil. Now that my pot of water is boiling, I can add my noodles now. Since there's 6 of us here, I would dump about half a bag of a 12-ounce bag of egg noodles. And then give it. Now my chicken is almost just about done.
How much chicken?
It's getting nice and brown. A little more brown. Okay, now it's time to add the frozen vegetables. Grab my corn. Now there's 2 ways where you can add the corn. You can add the corn in with the chicken, or have it boiled with the noodles. Me, I like to flavor the corn, so I'm going to pour it in with the chicken. Like a cup and a half of corn should do the trick. Okay, you stir in the corn. If you feel that the bottom of the pan's a little too sticky, you can always add some water from the pot. It should moisten it up a little. Okay, I poured in about a cup of the starch water from the noodles. I'm going to let it reduce a little bit and cook the frozen corn a little bit more. And since I used pre-seasoned chicken, I didn't have to worry about using any salts or peppers. My chicken and my corn concoction is finally done cooking. I turned off the heat and I'm going to let it sit and rest for a minute while I finish the rest. Okay, for seasoning the noodles, I'm going to take a whole stick of butter and I'm just going to drop it in there and I'm going to mix it all. Okay, the butter has melted down pretty good in the noodles, and now I'm going to add my chicken and my corn mix to it. There, and I mixed it all together, and this is what it looks like afterwards. Now I'm going to plate it, and here's the finished product. Chicken, egg noodles, and corn with a butter sauce. Voila!